All right, and we're on to our pull-up exercise. The pull-up is gotta be one of the best pulling and upper body back exercises that is in existence. It's a bit of a myth that the pull-up only works select areas of the back. Sometimes people are like, well, it's only working the lats, or it's only really getting the biceps a little bit. But the fact of the matter is that every pulling muscle in your body from the waist up is getting a great workout from the pull-up. To find evidence of this, all you gotta do is a simple internet search for images of people doing pull-ups. You'll find like bodybuilders and athletes with pull-up technique, and every muscle in their back, from their biceps, in their arms, forearms, rear deltoids, even the upper traps and rhomboids are really lit up like a Christmas tree from just the humble pull-up. Now there's a few little tweaks that we can add to really get a most muscular building from the pull-up. One of the things is the spacing of our hands. I know it's very fashionable for a lot of people to use a very wide grip with pull-ups, and it's not a bad thing to do, but if you look at a wide grip pull-up, you're gonna be noticing there's less of a range of motion at the rear deltoids, at the biceps, the elbow joint, and so on. Optimal muscle building pull-ups are done roughly about shoulder width apart. From there, what we wanna do, before we even do a pull-up, we wanna pull back with our scapular motion, some scapular retraction, so that we put tension on our back muscles right from the get-go. We don't necessarily want to always start and use a dead hang in between each pull-up, because at that point you're just kind of hanging by ligaments and tendons and stuff like that. You want to have tension on the muscles throughout the entire range of motion. So we grab on, we pull back, and in addition to using the pulling of the scapular retraction, we also want to have a little bit, kind of like a bit of a bridge, a vertical bridge, if you will, where we squeeze our glutes and we arc our back slightly backwards. What this is going to do is it's going to tilt your backside in relation to your hands, roughly about 30-40 degrees or so. Then as we pull on up, we pull straight to the bar, and our objective is to bring the chest right to the hands, not trying to get the chin over the bar. I'm always telling people I'm not a fan of the idea of a chin up. Anything where you grab onto something and you pull yourself towards your hands is a pull up in my definition. The key though is the actual pulling up rather than trying to get the chin over the bar. Sometimes you'll see people doing chin ups and it's like their whole objective is to get their chin over the bar. To build the most muscle in your back and your arms, what you want to do is have the mental emphasis of pulling your chest to your hands, every inch of range of motion. Get your hands to even touch your chest if possible. The other thing that we want to really kind of focus on is maintaining that arc in the back, pulling the feet backwards, keeping that tension in the glutes. This way, we are engaging our posterior chain, so once again our back muscles are fully engaged. Sometimes you'll see pull-ups where the anterior chain will take over a little bit. Legs start going forwards, back starts rounding forwards, things like that. Again, it's not a bad technique, but it means that a lot of the muscles in your back are now turning off, and you can't get maximum muscle growth with this sort of a technique. So those are the basic ideas. Again, with same idea with dips as well. I forgot to cover this in the last video. When we're adding weight to dips and to pull-ups, what we don't want to ever sacrifice is any technical proficiency in the name of adding weight. Whenever we're adding weight, we want our technique to be exactly the same as it was without the weight. The range of motion is exactly the same. The grips that we're using is exactly the same. Everything exactly the same, just with a little bit more weight. Don't sacrifice any sort of change in technique in order to lift more additional weight. In the last and final video coming up, we've got lunges to cover, but again, if you have questions, matt@thefitrebel.com. So then be fit, live free.